morning, my MPP peeps. Beautiful gap up in the indices. It really looks like they're gunning for this gap fill right here. See this gap? Looks like they're gunning for it. To fill the gap, it would be around 33.30. So it looks like they at least want to tag that. And then this 3,400 on the S&P is the ultimate goal. It may never get there, but I think it's a good goal to have. And I will know when this trend is over. We'll break this 3,200. At any point we break this 3,200 level, I think at least a short-term top is in, and very likely a longer-term top, and we'll probably head down at least this 200 SMA, and in this 2,800 level. We'll have to draw fibs, obviously, when we get to the top to look for retrace levels, wherever that top may be. But I think that this is the last run starting today. I think this is the last, just looking at all the indicators, how hot we're getting, how much money is coming in off the sidelines. All the funds are getting involved now. All the non-believers are getting involved. Retail's getting involved. And when that happens, when everyone is finally a believer in the rally, that's usually when the rest of the money comes in and there's no buyers left, and we start to see selling and pullbacks. So let's see how much icing we can get on this cake. I would love to see it all the way to 3,400. That'd be sweet. But we know our level, this 3,200, when it breaks, the party is likely over, at least in the short term. And you got to remember, guys, November is right around the corner. There's going to be volatility because there is a lot of uncertainty in this election. And that uncertainty, I don't think, has been priced in yet. So, let's see what happens. Obviously, this VIX is going to be our guide. We're actually a little green this morning on the VIX, but as long as we stay below this 200 SMA, investors are willing to hold their bets. Okay, once we start spiking above this 200 SMA, it gets iffy, and selling, cascade type selling, can begin once this VIX starts rising. So we'll continue to watch this VIX as a sign that volatility is coming back, and it's best to pump the brakes and wait for a bigger pullback. The Qs are acting like the Qs, going straight up another nearly 1% this morning, attacking this high here at the 269 level. We're right at 268. So if it can bust through here, I do expect 280. So let's see what happens. Again, if we break this uptrend line at any point, I think at least a short-term top is in, and we'll need a little bit, at least a pullback to this 245 level. But the way things look right now, the way the money's coming in off the sideline, it looks like they want to push it up to this 280 level first. So we'll see. As long as this uptrend line holds right here, I'm looking for 280. IWM, green this morning, still holding this 200 SMA. As long as it holds this 200 SMA, that bodes well for the rest of the market, like I've been saying. And we can continue to get that rally to higher levels in the S&P and the Qs as long as this IWM holds that 200 SMA. And the Dow, definitely been weak, the weakest of the indices, but still hanging on to that 200 SMA. As long as we do that, the trend is up. All right, guys, let's look at some names, some ready to rock names. I'm watching this eBay. It needs to get above this 10 SMA for me to be interested. And then I would look to sit at 63 as a target. But that one looks good. Netflix, we had this last week. Unfortunately, it couldn't get above that 10 SMA, but this morning it looks like it wants to make a run. If it can get an intraday move above 495, I'm going to get long. And if it can close, above 495, or even, if it can get a definitive close above the 10 SMA, wherever that is, I'll get long end of day. Snap, not looking good this morning. I don't know if this one's going to trigger. It needs to get back above Friday's high at 23.96, but of all the ready to rock listers, this one's the least exciting right now. Spot, really like this pullback in spot at the 0.236 retrace. If it can get back above the 10, this thing can make a run to 330-ish, but needs to get back above that 10 SMA, and that's currently at 271. So it's got a ways to go to trigger, but we'll continue to watch it. This Sono has earnings on Wednesday, but if it can close today above the 10 SMA at 1646, I'll get long at the close for a two-day rally. But it has to trigger today. If it does not trigger today, I'm not interested. TSCO, big uptrend, pulling back nicely. I would like to see a pullback to this 135 area, ideally, but we may not get ideal. If it closes back above the 10 SMA, that's a trigger for me to get long, to look for this 162 area. But, would rather it pull back, but, this trend is so strong, it may not. So a close above the 10 SMA, and I will get long. XLNX had earnings Thursday, or no, actually Friday, I think. Pulled back to its 10 SMA. I like this strong uptrend that it's in. Pulled back and held its 10 SMA. I consider that a bullish sign. If it can get back above Friday's high and close above, I'll get long with a possible run to this 125 area. And then finally, YY. This one looks good this morning. If it gets above 80 after the first 10-minute candle, I am going to get long. And if you guys have been following, you know that I'm short puts. I'm short the August, I think it's 14th, 70 puts. And if we get this trigger long to go in the common in the dip buying system, I'll close the short puts for a nice profit. I think I'll collect around 60% of that premium. Take that profit and then buy the common and see if we can make money in the dip buying system as well. So we've made money in the put selling system. Let's see if this thing can trigger and we make that money in the dip buying system too. So earnings here, August 12th. So we have a little time for a little bit of a run up. I'm looking for 90 to see if we can get 90 before that August 12th earnings date. And then lastly, this FAY, I'm buying at the open, okay? So if you like the growth system, if you like this name and want to hold it, okay, I got a big target, first target of 28.31, second target of 37.41. So this is a long-term hold, and I'm going to start my position with an eighth of a position this morning, right at the open. And then the Bitcoin, let's look at it. You guys saw my tweet, I think it was Saturday night, and we were above 12,000. We hit 12,100. I was getting very giddy. And then when I woke up on Sunday morning, boom, it had dropped right back down at the lower end of this bull flag. So it's very volatile. Bitcoin's volatile, but still holding this 10 SMA, holding this bull flag. So let's see if the bulls can rally it once again past this 12,000 level. And we can finally take off, get this 14,000, 16,000. This Bitcoin still looks good. Still a big fan of this chart, and we'll be holding our GBTC for the 16 price target that I have. I believe it's 16. Yeah. So the high end is this 16 for a first target. Well, that's all I have, guys. Any questions? Any thoughts? Any feelings? All right. Doesn't seem like it. Well, let's see how we close. Let's see if we can continue this rally. Like I said, 3,400 will be a dream. And then if we can hit 3,400, it's time to start looking short and playing for a pullback. And I think there's going to be some decent amount of profits in a pullback when it finally comes. But we got to wait. We can't get impatient. We got to wait until there are signs that a pullback's coming. All right, guys. Talk to you this afternoon. Until then, do not trade for thrills. Just consistently make those dollar bills. Talk to you soon.